Welcome to the Art of Healing podcast, the podcast that is dedicated to helping you connect with your mind, body, and spirit. This is Charlize, physician and Reiki master, and thank you so much for joining me. I would like to remind you that although I'm a physician, the information you receive in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You can find my full disclaimer at my website, www.healingartshealthandwellness.com. If you like what you hear on this podcast, sign up for my weekly newsletter. Check your show notes for more information and for the link to sign up. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to the Art of Healing podcast. This is Charlize. I am actually recording this on the new year, so happy new year. However, I'm going to be leaving this recording available, of course, all the time. So maybe you'll happen to catch this at some later time or sometime when you're maybe doing something new for yourself. So I'll say Happy New Day or Happy New Moment or something like that. But definitely Happy New Year. Wishing us all luck for 2021. So for today's podcast, I want to give a few announcements as well as discuss some whys of what I'm going to be providing over the next few months, over the next year. So I will be releasing some resources for anyone that's wanting to start a new healthy habit. Um, so one of those is going to be a 21-day meditation journey that I will make available through my website. And the way I'm going to do it is there'll be brief lessons through the site and then also brief emails because I kind of wanted to design it for someone who's busy because I know what it's like to be busy because I'm a practicing physician. And daily you'll get brief little prompts, brief little exercises on ways that you can bring some mindfulness into your life. And so I'm really excited about that. I've done these kind of similar exercises before for myself, and I just love them. I just love that you can start your day with a little bit of intention and um, help clear the slate, and that it need not take uh, lots of time and actually set you up to be more productive and feel better. And then I will also be releasing my first Reiki training. So I've been working on my courses for quite some time, and my first course is going to be a course for anyone that's curious or wants to learn about Reiki. Um, I will make sure to put some links. And here I go again because I'm going to have to be tech savvy. But if you don't get my newsletters, I will make sure that I will place a link in this podcast or make it available through social media for those updates because I'm still working on them, but I want to get them out as soon as I can. And that leads me to today's topic, which is why I am wanting to help others learn Reiki. I have mentioned before, and I think on my website and probably in podcast. Oh yeah, I definitely mentioned my podcast. My experience as a practicing physician, which I did several years before I um, was blessed to learn about holistic remedies such as Reiki, um, and such as yoga, or getting more in depth with yoga. But one of the things that I noticed as a practicing physician years before my awakening, I guess is a way to think of it, is that um, the patients that did better, that healed, that um, recovered, they had one thing in common, and it seemed pretty much just across the board, universal, that those folks were empowered, they were knowledgeable. Um, if they didn't have the knowledge, they actively sought the knowledge to heal their illness. Um, I also learned with my years of working with patients that even in those patients where we know there's not going to be a cure or this illness will be terminable, this person will die from this illness, that those that sought to empower themselves and tune in themselves had a more peaceful transition. And now that I'm entering my 14th year of practice, that theme of, empowered patients and empowered me being personally empowered and empowered staff has just grown and grown and grown to the point that now I'm realizing that I definitely want to contribute to people feeling empowered in working with their own bodies, learning their own bodies, healing themselves. And by no means does this take the place of having a strong relationship with a provider for medical issues that you can go to and consult with. Um, and actually, I think having this more in tuned, empowered approach, you are more likely to find a team of people to care for you, particularly if you're dealing with maybe a new daunting diagnosis or if you're dealing with big major transitions, loss, and grief. So, um, I am a Reiki master, and part of our Reiki training, which also will be offered through Healing Arts, Health and Wellness, are going to be the two levels of Reiki as well as Reiki master training. And I'm designing two branches of courses. One will be for everyone, just anyone who's wanting to learn, um, who is feeling ready to take the next step. Um, and I'll give a little bit more explanation because definitely it shouldn't be intimidating because definitely the first step for both branches is going to be self-healing. Then I'm designing another set of courses for those in particular who are working in healthcare. And that for me, because I am a physician and I've worked in hospitals and clinics and institutions, I'm providing some information. It's a little bit more for those folks because of the particular demands that I understand they have to deal with. But definitely my Reiki one for self empowerment will be for anyone who feels like they're wanting to learn, feels ready. Honestly, you really don't have to feel ready. A reason why is because the first level that you learn is all about self healing, self awareness. You learn about your own energy body, you'll learn about your own anatomy. You'll learn how to tune in more with yourself. So you don't really have to feel ready. If you just want, like, I want to do something positive, this is a perfect step, is taking my Reiki 1 course. So the reason why I have decided I wanted to teach this because I've wanted to teach this for a while. And, to be frank, and like with anything, like you build up your confidence. Quite frankly, I wasn't sure that this was something people would want to learn from me, a practicing physician. I learned Reiki from holistic healers, and the experience of learning it was amazing. It was amazing. Um, but definitely the year of 2020 and the pandemic, and I think we can all attest to the fact that contagions come in all flavors. Um, Fear can be contagious, hate can be contagious, lack of empathy can be contagious, um, and of course, viruses, but also hope and love and abundance, and a lot of really positive things can be contagious. So I'm saying let's spread some good stuff for 2021. So, one of my main reasons for wanting to have an avenue, a way that anyone that's wanting to learn is have provided and I do provide individual sessions, which are very important. Um, and As well, I provide individual care in my clinical practice. However, I've often felt that gap in some of my Reiki clients that they are improving, they're healing, they're seeing positive changes, which I'm gonna humble brag. Really big on privacy, and and probably because of my training as a physician, so I never um, feel the need to share individual stories, but I've seen amazing changes in my Reiki clients, amazing, miraculous changes in those individuals that sought me out for Reiki and came for maybe one or two or more sessions. Um, and that may be worth a podcast later, except I don't like to share other stories, but some of the things I witnessed from my Reiki practice, I'm like, whoa, that's amazing when someone's energy lines up. So anyway, so in those individuals that I've seen it, guys, those that come to me are getting Reiki, they're they're improving, they're feeling the change that they're needing to feel at that time in their life. And then there's just that something missing. That's that one thing missing. And often these individuals are already sort of serving that role as like a healer or some, and definitely caretaker, definitely, parent, teacher, leader, they're already serving some kind of role like that anyway. And they're seeing the positive change ripple out in their lives, and they feel like there's more. And those are the individuals often say, well, you should learn. You should actually learn Reiki for yourself. You can treat yourself. Doesn't mean that you don't get treatment from others. I get Reiki sessions from others, but you can learn it yourself. And especially if it's a healing modality that you've incorporated on a regular basis in your life, why not go ahead and have the tool for yourself? And it doesn't mean that you have to dedicate a whole section of your life or sacrifice anything. It could be something that you integrate in 5 minutes of your day, or maybe something you're integrating on a regular basis, or even more. Um, Another reason why I'm wanting to offer a pathway to become a Reiki practitioner to others is the world needs it now more than ever. More than ever. Um, in my own practice, conversations with colleagues, what we're witnessing worldwide with the spread of the pandemic, we have multiple waves of things coming. My friends that work in behavioral health, I'm often telling them because I know they're feeling some of it, but we've had a wave of shock. We've had a wave of disbelief. I think is like worldwide. We follow that whole patterns of stages of grief. Um, and fairly soon we will be having a wave, a planet-wide wave of loss, grief related to everyone going through so many things with this pandemic. Some people have gained, many people have lost, and um, I I strongly feel that the way we'll help each other is first by helping ourselves. So I think for the individuals that seek it, that want it, that reach out and want to have this tool for themselves, I think it can help all of us. It can definitely help all of us. The practice of Reiki is actually more than a healing tool. Um, it can actually be a way of living, sort of a lifestyle. It can help to um, beyond just healing illness or healing anxiety or relieving insomnia. Um, you can use Reiki for things like abundance, job interviews. I've used Reiki for job interviews for years. Oh, goodness, it helps so much with your nerves. You can use Reiki to help guide you through traffic. It can actually be used in a number of ways. Now, keep in mind when I'm saying Reiki, I'm using one word that's describing kind of a multi-channel positive vibe type thing. But because you learn Reiki, you definitely don't ever have to practice on others. It can simply be something you have for yourself to sort of grease the wheels of your life. It's very nice to have. And finally, there's very little risk, really no risk of learning. It'll take some of your time, it'll take some of your energy, but what it will return to you is a very positive return. That really there's no risk in learning. And sometimes I even see this because I know over our modern history there's been multiple self-help tools, and sometimes I see it that way. And I'm not that familiar with them. I know there are the Seven Habits by Stephen Covey, and I mean there's been a few others. And I think for me it's been Reiki, where you've got this tool where you set an intention, you send some good energy, and it tends to just help. And in bad times when you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, grieving, it helps there as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. um, I will make sure to list in the description of this podcast where you can find me. And also, I would encourage you to sign up for my newsletter so that I can notify you once I have my Reiki courses available. I'm actually preparing quite a few different um, products on my website. But I mean, in full disclosure, I'm slow. Like I'm slow. I talk slow. I work slow. I'm not even a procrastinator. It's kind of funny. Like it looks like I'm procrastinating, but I think I'm just like that turtle, that finishes last. And anyway, it's one of the things I laugh at myself, that I get stuff done somehow in life, but boy, it takes the task that takes someone else 5 minutes, it'll take me an hour. So, that being said, thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to staying in touch, and definitely wishing you health and wellness for this new year. Wherever you are, if you're in a wonderful, great, and happy place, I hope you can spread it. If you're in a tough place and you are dealing with loss and grief, just know that there are a lot of us out there who are holding a place in our hearts for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Art of Healing podcast. Once again, this is Charlize. You can find out more about me at www.healingartshealthandwellness.com. Did you know I have a blog as well as online courses? Check your show notes to sign up for more information about healing arts, health, and wellness. Thank you. Please feel free to share this episode with your friends, family, and loved ones.